Welcome back to the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship from Slovakia ring, and race number 4 of this weekend is just about to get started. It's been a really sunny and hot and spicy weekend just because of the races that were just going on. And to show you that this is not a very male world, there are also amazing women, I was like, let's do a girls session for the 4th race. These are Valentine and Connie from the FIA, and they have very long titles and they do very different jobs behind the scenes. And I was like, okay, let's just show you what's even going on beside the world of like the truckers and the mechanics. So Connie, maybe we're going to be starting out with you.
Hi Lina, thanks for having us. It's good that we can be here with you so people get to know what's going on behind the scenes. I'm Assistant Technical Delegate. I'm from Germany and I work for the FIA now. This is my 3rd season in the Truck Racing Championship. And my job is basically to have an eye on the safety of the drivers and of the trucks, of course, and also all the performance items. We are checking that so that the races are on the performance side equal. Nobody can cheat. We will get them. So that is my job here for the FIA.
And she's very serious when she is in her job. But we will catch you later on, like when you walk around your truck. I was like, I don't want to be in trouble when you're in your official job, walking around, taking pictures, looking here and there. But like when the race is going on, we always have 3 trucks that are being pulled to scrutineering after the race. Do you have one guy or one, maybe it's even you, standing observing the race? Like, how do you make the choices which truck needs to be observed again?
Of course, we're watching the race, and if we see something that we think maybe we could have a closer look on that, if someone is having problems or really an advantage in the corners or from the speed side. And otherwise, we're trying to check everyone during the weekend, not just only the first 3 on the podium. We try to check everyone, have an eye over the whole field. So it's just, let's say, random. Otherwise, something really serious is going on if we have an accident or something like that.
All right, so that's a very fair game that everyone has to step in from time to time. So Valentine, now we heard what Connie is doing, and you also have a very long title, so you can just speak for yourself.
No, honestly, I think that's so amazing to be surrounded of incredible women like Connie, like yourself. We need more, definitely. So on my side, I am responsible for the administrative and sporting coordination of the championship. So that means mainly ensuring that everything is settled and ready for every race weekend. So all the paperwork, insurance, everything needs to be aligned with the regulations. And whenever I'm on site, I usually sit in race control next to the race director, and I'm responsible for writing and transmitting all the messages, every information that is given by race control on the messages board. This message board is open to every competitor and everyone who needs to have the information from race control. And sometimes I also sit with the stewards and do the secretary work, meaning I draft and write all official paperwork, decision that is taken over the course of the weekend.
So the guys come to you and they're like, Valentine, we have to speak again because you wrote the penalty for car number, whatever number it is.
Sometimes they do, but now they know that I'm not the one writing them. I'm not the one deciding everything, but I'm just writing whatever the stewards decide.
Yeah, we really need more women like you both. So how did you start out? Because like you're like the rookie and you are the like long time, because you also are in different races as well. So where can people see you as well?
At drag racing. I'm also Assistant Technical Delegate in the European Drag Racing Championship. So you will see me in the UK, in Sweden, and the Nitro Olympics in Hockenheim at the end of August. So that's where I started, actually. And then my boss, Franz Dahlberg, he showed up someday and said, Connie, you got a truck driving license and you are a master mechanic. So what about circuit racing? What about truck racing? I said, yeah, sounds interesting. Why not?
Okay,
Let's
cool.
try this. And actually, I'm having really a lot of fun, and I enjoy it a lot. That one truck family that I feel here, the spirit that is here, it's the same in drag racing. And that's what I like the most.
Okay, so I just heard we have so much more to tell you before the race is about to get started. So I'm handing over to my lovely commentator, Chess Straycott. Maybe I catch you later on in the race for more questions, because I have so many more in my head. Chess, it's up to you now.
Thank you very much, Lena. It's fantastic to hear from Connie and Valentina. They are absolute superstars in the paddock, two of my finest friends from all over Europe, and obviously this championship. It's just great to work with them, and it's lovely for them to get a moment in the spotlight as well. They do so much great work behind the scenes that doesn't always get seen by everybody from the outside, and it's lovely to highlight that, and great stuff from Lena as well. Thank you everybody for being here this weekend for the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. My name is indeed Chaz Draycott, and I'm commentating remotely this weekend from the UK, but still enjoying myself thoroughly for this race weekend. There's plenty still to go on with this final race of the weekend just about to get underway. There is Norbert Kish. He will once again line up 8th on the grid after winning the earlier race today, and he's going to be working hard to try and get that second Grand Slam on the bounce. Nobody has ever done it twice in a season, let alone do it 2 times on the bounce. If he does that, I mean, I've run out of good words already for Norbert Kish, like I said earlier. I ran out of superlatives between the first race and the second race, so I'm going to have to think of some more in the meantime. And while I do that, I'm going to hand you back over to Lena. Let's go and see what she has to say.
Yeah, like I promised, I will show you all the women in the back. And this is May Fisher, and she's the female truck driver who's going in front. Hello. Yeah, so it's really cool to have you. Tell us quickly, what made you come here and how did you get up to be the one in the front?
Ich kann das nicht genau beantworten. Es ist ja alles sehr beeindruckend. Ich bin völlig froh, hier zu sein. Und das ist dieses Paket Motorsport und Rennstrecke und LKW fahren, das ist unbeschreiblich, das ist ganz toll.
Okay, so she's really amazed of being here right now. She's like, oh my God, what to even say. Are you a truck driver in your real life?
Ja, ich bin hauptberuflich, schreibe ich E-Learning-Module für den Bereich Transport und Logistik, für Unterweisung von Mitarbeitern, Fahrern, und nebenberuflich fahre ich seit 8 Jahren LKW.
Okay, so she has been driving trucks for 8 years, but she also writes e-learning programs, which I find really interesting, helping others. So you're the right one over here, and this is your second year already. You started last year.
Nein, es ist mein 4. Mal, erst seit Oktober. Im letzten Jahr in Le Mans durfte ich das erste Mal mitfahren, und ich bin sehr happy darüber, dass ich hier sein darf.
Okay, so she started out in Le Mans last year, so it's her 4th race weekend in total, which still is very exciting to her. But good to have you with us. Thumbs up for the ladies in the back. Chaz, back to you.
Thanks very much, Lena. Yeah, awesome to hear from May Fisher. She's another absolute superstar from the paddock. Love May to bits. She was added to the team last season, and she has been pure entertainment all along. She really gets in amongst the banter as well, and has a great time with everybody as we all travel around Europe as part of the championship. There is Jochen Hahn. He's going to be starting this race from 7th on the grid on the inside line with Norbert Kish to his left. And he and the Hahn Racing team all looking pretty chilled out before this final race of the weekend. It seems like they're all good to go. There's no further preparations for them to be done before the race gets underway. And as we see, we have the top 8 reversed there. So that's literally the finishing order from earlier. Norbert Kish winning, Mark Taylor finishing in 8th place on the road. He's in a great position, though, to gain some big points here in this second race of the day, the final race of the weekend. In just less than a minute's time, we'll be welcoming our international TV audience, who will be joining us for the remainder of the race. So I'll be going quiet pretty soon, but I'm looking forward to seeing how this final race of the weekend gets underway, as I hope you are as well. I'll go quiet now, and I'll see you in a few minutes' time.
Welcome to all fans of the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship and race number 2 of the second day here at Slovakia ring is about to get started, and we have so much happening. I was like, I want to show you what's going on over there, as the trucks are already standing ready to start out. 10 more minutes before we will get to see a reverse grid race, because of course the second race always gets turned around. Yesterday was very interesting, a lot of fights going on, so I really hope you are watching, because I think this is really going to be a magic race today. And of course we also have our commentator Chess Draycott for you in the house.
Thanks very much, Lena. Yes, hello everybody. Chaz Draycott here for the 2024 Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Just caught a glimpse there of the lovely little shark fin that we have on the fifth wheels of the trucks for this season. An additional little piece of the equipment there to show off the HVO 100% renewable diesel that is now on board as part of the Total Energies branding that comes with us here around Europe. This is our location for this weekend's racing, the Slovakia Ring. An incredible circuit, nearly 6 kilometres in length, one of the longest on the calendar, if not the longest on the calendar. It's 27 degrees there at the moment, so it's mighty, mighty hot. And with only 14 corners on this circuit, you would have thought that, to be honest, it wouldn't be that long a track. Usually you get up to 20 or 22 Grand Prix circuit corners, but no, this place is a very different kettle of fish to most circuits that you will see. It's not often run in other major championships, so it's lovely for us to be able to sort of show it off here in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. I certainly love this place, and I know the drivers do as well. One thing that doesn't know is the tyres. The tyres get degraded like mad around here. It really is a huge challenge on those front tyres. And like we saw before with Sasha Lenz, as he spoke to Lena after the race, he was saying that the tyres towards the end of the race were absolutely destroyed. And speaking to Lena, we've got her back down there on the grid with an interview for us, I believe.
Yes, and we have a very lovely driver at the first place for now, starting out, Mark Taylor. What does it feel like to be in the front?
Definitely different from being near the back. So just hopefully we're going to have a good start and just try and keep as much in front as we can.
Yeah, I know that this track is very fast and it's very narrow corners, so I'm pretty sure a lot of stuff will be going on for you. So don't look in the back mirror, just focus on the front.
Yeah, that's it. I'm hoping there's going to be a bit more fighting behind me to hopefully give me that head start, just to keep going and have a good run.
Well, Kermit is with you, and so am I. We really cross our fingers for you. The tires look good for now. They have been heated up already, so there should be enough grip for you to just get going. Good luck. See you later on. And we have some highlights for you prepared from the last races.
Absolutely. Yes, indeed. We are here for the final race of the weekend with the grid set up with the race previous as the result. Everybody was happy and ready to go. It's Steffi Harm's birthday today as well, so she's going to be looking for a much stronger result in this one. She didn't quite have an easy race in race 3 of the weekend. But with the heat coming down, it was certainly go time. Norbert Kirsch was starting from pole position with Jochen Hahn alongside him. And on the second row, we had Sasha Lenz and Andrei Kurzim. Kurzim unfortunately had a bit of a poor start. He lost out to Antonio Albacetti. Stefan Faast seemingly having engine troubles after fixing the engine between qualifying and race 1. There was a few track limits markers here and there, but nothing too untoward until Luke Garrett was off the circuit with a steering pump failure. It's the second time this season they've had that problem, and they'll be hoping to fix it before this race. They are on the grid though, we already know that, so fingers crossed for them in this final race. Norbert Kish led from Jochen Hahn, while all the great battles went on behind. Stefan Faast and Louis Requenco were really getting amongst it. And towards the end of the race, there was an awesome chase between Antonio Albacetti, Sasha Lenz and Andrei Kurzim. A tiny bit of argy-bargy here and there, but they got away with it and had a really good scrap right to the flag. Norbert Kish was supreme at the front though, 7 wins out of 7 for him this season, and will go back down onto the grid.
In the front to the ones in the rear. Luke Garrett, man, what a weekend for you. What happened?
We've just having, I think it's beginner's luck maybe. Not working quite as we expected, but we're still experiencing some steering issues. Obviously, throughout the weekend, we've definitely increased our pace because we're pretty much on the back now, whereas Massano, we were quite far off the back of the pack. So we're just getting unlucky, I think, with some of the components that we're using. But I think we hopefully sorted it, but whatever happens with Zolder, we've definitely got to the bottom of it, so we'll definitely be on top form at Zolder. So
All right, fingers are crossed that this race will not be a DNF, but yes, I finally did it. Good luck to you. Put your helmet on, because it's only a couple of minutes till the race is going to be starting out.
Yeah, I fully sympathise with Luke and the team. They've had a really hard start to the season. Beginner's luck indeed, and hopefully it is the time where it turns around for them. We'll have to wait and see. There's a bit of the battle scars from earlier, on Steffi Helm's number 44, Iveco. There she is. Happy birthday to Steffi. She's always in such a great spirit before these races. She really does enjoy her racing, and it's lovely to have her on the grid. We're going to keep our fingers crossed for her, and also for Stefan Faas, who is another driver who's had issues before these races. Let's see what he's got to say with Lena.
Yeah, Stefan, yesterday has been such a good day to you. Today, so much fixing on the engine. Then you kind of got out of the game again at the first race. What's going on with you today?
Ja, ich weiß nicht, irgendwie haben wir heute ein bisschen Pech, aber ich denke, wir konnten im ersten Rennen doch noch mitfahren und haben gesehen, was die Probleme sind und haben jetzt nochmal nachgearbeitet. Und so wie es aussieht, haben wir es gefunden. Das wird sich jetzt zeigen. Schauen wir mal.
Okay, so they are not having the luckiest day of all, but they had some issues with the electricity of the engine, and at the last race they kind of saw what the issue was, and now they had more time to fix it. He thinks that this race is going to be better than the other ones, and of course you will push in the front, I know you.
Ja, natürlich. Ein Rennfahrer will immer nach vorne. Natürlich will ich nach vorne. Mal gucken, wie weit wir vorkommen.
Also, of course, he will be pushing in front because he also has to collect some points. You did quite well in the past races. I think you and Mr. Rodriguez are constantly about points right now.
Ja, schauen wir mal. Drückt mir alle die Daumen, dass es klappt.
Fingers crossed for Stefan Faas, and the engine's already starting, heating up. So, Jess, it's time for you again.
Thank you, Lena. Great to hear from Stefan Faas. Yeah, another tough weekend for him as well. He had engine issues during qualifying, so he didn't get a chance to put a time on the board. And then during that first race of the day, the engine issues came back, so they had to fight against them until the very end. They reckon it was an electrical issue, so fingers crossed in the end it is all sorted out for them. You can see the heat haze, though, much like we had yesterday afternoon. Towards the afternoon here in Slovakia, it always seems to just get warmer and warmer the whole time. But the rain has held off this weekend. A lot of you will remember last season we had this almighty rainstorm before, I believe it was the third race of the weekend, where Christina, bless her, was down on the grid and got absolutely drenched. It came out of nowhere, and to be fair, the drivers have been lucky to avoid that this weekend. Here's our Ford F-Max on its inspection lap. Ford Trucks, an official partner of the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship for 2024. And they have been for a couple of seasons now. And this is the official truck of the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship as well, driven by May Fisher, as we saw earlier. It's great for her to have a word with Lena. And she is at the wheel of this wonderful orange machine. One of two that we have in the paddock. If you ever visit our race meetings, you'll see the other one, the blue and white version of the same livery, basically living in the fan village. And you can get up close and personal with the truck itself and have a look around it, have a look at the excellent interior on the machine as well. And May just makes her way around the circuit now to ensure that there's no debris, no spillages, nothing wrong with the circuit at all that would stop the race from going ahead as planned. The 1 minute board is up in the air. And the drivers will be prepared for an excellent race to complete the weekend. It's Mark Taylor on pole position here. He took his second podium of the season in the earlier race and got some big championship points on the board. He opened up a gap of 7 points over John Newell in the Chrome category. It's going to be Norbert Kish and Jochen Hahn that have got work to do from the fourth row of the grid to try and gain their points back. Norbert Kish, yet again, on the brink of doing the Grand Slam, which is all 4 race wins in a weekend. The pole position's necessarily not looked at or counted towards that, but we've seen a few of them done before. But Norby is in supreme form at the moment, and nobody can quite get near enough to stop him on this charge. The timer hits 5-2. And the Iveco S-Way, the bio-LNG powered Iveco S-Way, makes its way off the grid with our beloved Frank the Tank at the wheel. Frank, a very good driver in that machine as well, really does throw it about. Sometimes you'll see him on some of the twistier circuits, really chucking it into some of the corners and rocking the Iveco around. It's bio-LNG powered, as mentioned, which removes up to 95% of the emissions compared to a conventional diesel engine. And as a driver, you don't notice any difference in how it operates from day to day or how it is to drive either. As I've said before, I'm very lucky to have done a number of laps at different circuits in the Iveco S-Way, and it really is a treat of a vehicle. Very, very high spec as well. We thank Iveco for that. There's the Hyundai i30N at the back of the pack as well, which is the medical car. You can see it just being towered over by our racing trucks. So as they come over the hill now, we'll take a look at the starting grid for this final race of the weekend in the second race meeting. This is going to be round 8 of the 2024 Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. And due to the reverse grid implications from finishing 8th in the earlier race, I should say, Mark Taylor will be on pole position, the Chrome driver, in a great position here to score some big points today. He needs to just defend like mad, as he said earlier on. Steffi Halm, birthday girl, starting on the front row, joining him for a potential points haul. We then have Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, Chrome Championship leader, alongside Andre Curzim. Curzim was fast towards the end of that race as well. He's really been on the money this afternoon. Antonio Albacete starts in 5th place with Sasha Lenz alongside him. Next up we have Jochen Hahn and Norbert Kish. They start together on the 4th row of the grid after another 1st and 2nd place between them. And then behind them in 9th and 10th positions we have John Newell. He's got 3 podiums so far this weekend in the class. Let's see whether John can make it a 100% record for Slovakia ring, shall we? He's got Louis Requenco alongside him on the 5th row. Then it's Stefan Faas and Luke Garrett, 2 drivers that have both had pretty tough weekends so far with dropped points here and there. 2 podiums yesterday for Stefan, but unfortunately having issues earlier on meant that he was a lot further down the order than he would have liked to have been. And he's now 12 points behind Jose Eduardo Rodriguez in the Chrome Championship standings. Jose Eduardo on 95 points now. And the 83 points of Stefan Faas, not quite enough to match up to him at the moment. In the Teams Championship, by the way, it is Norbert Kish and Antonio Albacete who are teammates for Revesh and T-Sport. They currently lead the way from Die Bullen von Iveco, which is Jochen Hahn and Steffi Halm, and then Team Lowenpower, which is Sasha Lenz and John Newell, are in 3rd position. We'll keep our eye on that competition through the entire championship campaign. Seems like Stefan Faas is slowing to a halt here on the right-hand side. That is not good. He's having some sort of issues. He's not pulled over to the side of the road yet, but the truck was definitely slowing. That wasn't just him leaving a gap. That was an issue. Just waiting to see if he does pop back up to pace over the hill, but I think we may be down to 11 trucks already here. That is such a shame for Stefan. I said earlier on, well, I was literally just talking about it, the fact that he's had a tough weekend. Especially today, here on Sunday, it's been a nightmare for him. He is back up to pace, actually. I'm not sure if it needed a bit of a Control-Alt-Delete, a bit of a hard reset. But fingers crossed that issue doesn't come back for him in the race. We'll see. He does form back up next to Luke Garrett, which is good to see. I was half expecting that he may hang back a bit and maybe go into the pit lane when they got chance. But this is Mark Taylor's opportunity now to lead the race outright. We don't have a specific outright classification. We have just the 2 classes, Titan and Chrome. But Mark Taylor has big chance now to score points over his rivals in the class, because the next of them is John Newell down the inside of the 5th row of the grid. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, though, the class leader, is right behind him on the grid on the right-hand side. But Mark knows that at this moment he's not in a direct fight with him, because Jose Eduardo's had a strong start to the season. Mark's just in it to recuperate points at this stage and try and chip away at any gaps. As long as he stays ahead of him, though, the two of them should be able to have some good fights with the Titan drivers, but not give too much away. Round the final corner we go then. And round 8 of the 2024 Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship will be underway, and the lights go out and they get on with it. Foot down the start-finish straight, up to 100 miles an hour. They're side by side now with Mark Taylor in the middle of the road, just keeping any idea of an inside line defended. Steffi Halm in there too. I think they're 3 wide in the middle. Andre Kurzim not getting a brilliant start. Antonio Albacete in there, and Kurzim is sideways. He's still sideways on the grass. He loses places to Jochen Hahn and Norbert Kisch as well. Mark Taylor still in front of Steffi Halm, holds on to the race lead. Sasha Lenz, Antonio Albacete and Jochen Hahn and Norbert Kisch all going past Andre Kurzim. Very busy opening couple of corners there for everyone in the middle of the pack. They definitely were 3 wide at one point, as all the drivers launched an initial attack as best they could. Jochen Hahn looking to the outside of Antonio Albacete. He's going to try and carry the speed all the way around the outside. Sasha Lenz tries to do the same to Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. Looks like Jochen Hahn is able to make that work. John Newell has gone down the inside of Andre Kurzim. Stefan Faas has also gained a few places. There is Jochen and Norby completely side by side once again through turns 4 and 5 into turn 6. And Norbert gets through up into what will be 6th position, I believe it is, yes. 6th place already for Norby on the first lap of the race, making big progress in the opening stages. So it's Mark Taylor, Steffi Halm, Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, Sasha Lenz, Antonio Albacete, then Norbert Kisch, and a big check-up as they head into turn 8 there. Everybody slamming on the anchors to make sure that they don't clatter into each other. Andre Kurzim and his teammate Louis Requenco side by side, making a little bit of contact on the exit there, argy-bargy if you will. I know there's a few people that listen to my commentary that enjoy that phrase. It's one I've heard from since the 90s in the British Touring Car Championship. As down the inside, Steffi Halm has a look on Mark Taylor, tries to make a move, nothing doing this time. The pair of them glued to each other as they exit turn 11. Look at the field there, streaking their way through the final stages of the lap. And they now fan out as they try and battle for the lead down towards turn 13. And then all the way around they go, trying to get the most momentum that they can out of that final corner down the start-finish straight. Taylor still holds on to the lead, and our bright and colourful grid is one large train at the moment as they head down the start-finish line. You can see the heat haze still very much present as they now leap their way into turn 1. Mark Taylor holding on enough now, and to be fair, Steffi Halm under pressure from Jose Eduardo Rodriguez for 2nd place. Jose Eduardo will not back out of trying to make a move for that, I'm sure. Mark Taylor, the one kicking up a little bit of dust on the exit of the first corner. You can see them all fanning out though, because they're all so close together. They want to try and get as much sort of cooler air as they can, rather than sitting in the hot air of the truck in front of them. They'll be trying to spread out as best they can. There's no need in slipstreaming or anything like that here, because they are all governed to 100 miles an hour, 160 kilometres. As Norbert Kisch goes down the inside of Antonio Albacete, the two teammates side by side. They lean on each other a little bit through turn 3 and nearly on the exit again as well. And now everybody all in the same braking zone. It's one big checkup, isn't it? You can see them all sort of hesitating, braking a little bit early to make sure they don't go in the back of the truck in front of them. You can hear a lock up here and there as they have to stamp on the brakes. Norbert Kisch finds himself on the outside of Sasha Lenz. I think it all checked up a little bit quickly in front of him, and he wasn't able to do anything with it. Now Norby looks to the inside of Sasha. Sasha comes all the way over, says not on your life, but Norby still says, nope, I'm coming through, sunshine, thank you very much. I have one of those. And again, we witness this era of absolute dominance from Norbert Kirsch, who already on lap 2 moves himself up into 4th position in the race. And the thing is, the trucks in front of him are all battling as well, so there's every opportunity to come through. As Antonio down the inside of Sasha Lenz, the two of them make a bit of contact one way, then the other through turn 10. Jochen Hahn's got a front row seat to that. Luke Garrett has got ahead of Louis Requenco there in the background as well in the Chrome class. It's still Mark Taylor leading his class. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez second. Steffi Halm leading the Titan category at the moment. Wow, oh wow. Great strong racing in this final race of the weekend, as we expected, as we always get in the 4th race of the weekend. And Mark Taylor holding on brilliantly at the front here in front of the Iveco of Steffi Halm. They were on similar pace towards the end of race 3 as well. So Mark will be confident going into this one, knowing that he's got the opportunity to stay in front of Steffi and that she might just have to worry about defending at this stage. Just looking at the lap times to see if anybody had a bit of a standout time. Taylor was quicker than Halm, quicker than Rodriguez. He was actually similar lap time to Norbert Kirsch, who, even though he got some overtakes done, was the quickest man out of everybody on that lap. He's now onto the back of Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. And as they climb over the crest of the hill again, hard onto the brakes. Let's not forget that this green clean racing we've seen so far is powered by 100% renewable HVO diesel. Thank you to Total Energies for being a championship partner this year. You can see the green 5th wheels and the little shark fins on all the trucks carrying the Total Energies branding. Thanks also to Yoast as a partner of the series for jumping on board as well. It's great to have them as part of the campaign here, and the ETRA and everybody behind the scenes has been putting in a lot of work to make this happen. Norbert Kirsch is putting in a lot of work to make this happen as well. Around the outside of Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, I think not there, but he's trying to open the door at least. He's doing whatever he can. You can see that he's still trying it, cutting back one way then the other as they go through turn 8 down towards turn 9. And you can still see that there's a bit of a traffic jam behind Mark Taylor at this moment in time. Nothing against Mark, but these guys all want to overtake one another and they're trying everything they can. Norbert Kirsch has gone around the outside of turn 10, down the inside of turn 11, really makes that cutback work, and through he goes on Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, up into 3rd position outright, 2nd still in the Titan class. Jose Eduardo won't lose any points in regards to the Chrome class there. But wow, an amazing move by Norby on the 3rd lap of the race. The timer in the top left, just to remind you as well, the sort of ticker for the laps tells us how many laps have been completed. So we're just about to finish lap 3 and move on to lap 4. So we're not even halfway through this race, and Norbert Kirsch has gone from 8th place on the grid up into 3rd. He's now on the back of Steffi Halm. On her birthday, she's going to be hoping to hold that position for a podium, but everybody behind is all piling in to try and make moves and gain more championship points. Antonio Albacete and Jochen Hahn are right with each other in 6th and 7th outright, trying to get with Sasha Lenz. Norby already closing right up to the back of Steffi Halm's Iveco. You can see the battle there between Luke Garrett and Louis Requenco continuing on. Stefan Fast, by the way, did not complete the 1st lap, which is a massive shame to see. His weekend not ending in a good way. He's lost a lot of championship points here. No other drivers will be able to overtake him in the championship based on this race result, but they will close that gap up tenfold. Taylor still leading the way here at the Slovakia ring, with Steffi Halm holding on to 2nd place. Look how late on the brakes Norby is there, really trying to dive around the outside and maybe get a cutback on the exit of turn 3. Turn 4 is the next corner, which is another left-hander. And I mentioned it yesterday with the manoeuvre that Norby pulled off at turn 13. It's like karting manoeuvres. You know, you put yourself on a wider line to just then cut back underneath people on the exit. Watch it here. Norby's going to run a little bit wide. He may get a slight overlap on Steffi. And then he's going to try and tighten up the apex. Try and just get the nose underneath for the next corner. Doesn't work this way round. But he's just trying everything he's got, you know. Look, again, looking down the inside. Supreme confidence on the brakes by Norbert Kish. And through he goes. It was the same manoeuvre yesterday that he managed to make work. Although Steffi around the outside line has got some good momentum. No, not enough to get back in front of the MAN. It's MAN's 1 and 2 now. And Mark Taylor suddenly has 5-time champion Norbert Kish right behind him. And the battle will continue on. Mark and Norby both putting the trucks right in the middle of the road there. Everybody going defensive. And look at this, suddenly arriving on the scene. Sasha Lenz around the outside of Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. He's going to do what Norby did earlier, is he? He's then going to have the right-hand turn 11 inside line. As there's a battle there with John Newell and Andre Kurzim as well, as they try and recuperate points in their own respective races. So many fantastic battles going on here at the Slovakia ring. This circuit really does promote great racing from the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Down towards turn 13 they go once more. The top 7 in 2 little groups here, a trio and then a quartet, led by Mark Taylor and Jose Eduardo Rodriguez respectively. They are the chrome rated drivers for this season. Mark just kissing the gravel a little bit on the exit at turn 13 there. And all the fans loving it that Norby is right up there in the box seat to try and take another race victory. Everybody else is still waiting to join in effectively. And still Mark Taylor holds on. Great battling though, isn't it? All the way through the field. Mark pulls over to the right hand side, tries to tuck it into an early apex there. Norby tries to carry the speed around the outside. Then Steffi Halm, well, she's got the front row seat to all of this, and if she can hold on to that podium position, especially in class, because she's second in class at the moment, that'll be a second place finish of the weekend. She'll have both results the same on each day. Everybody now just swooping their way around turn 6 into turn 7. And once again, Norbert Kish down the inside on the brakes. We saw him do this earlier on to Steffi Halm. Mark Taylor's going to try and carry the pace around the outside line. Doesn't want to give too much away here. But Norbert Kish back at the front here. And it's going to take a mistake from Norby. Good luck. For him to not do the Grand Slam here at the Slovakia ring. This is the place where he did it in 2023. That was the last time he did it before Misano, just 2 weeks ago. And if he can do it here again, that would be absolutely unreal. Mark Taylor still right behind him though in second place, pushing on to try and get back with him. Steffi Halm next up, then Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, Sasha Lenz, Antonio Albacetti, after holding him off earlier on. You can hear the fans in the background going crazy for it. Mark Taylor now doing what he can do. He needs to just make sure he stays ahead of Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, though. He could let Steffi Halm by right now, but then the fight would very much be on for the lead of the Chrome class. And across the line once more they go. Lap 6 out of 8 here at the Slovakia ring. The final race of the weekend. John Newell there looking down the inside of Andre Kurzim. Well, he's at least filling the mirrors. He's not really close enough to make a move down the inside. This has been a sterling defence, though, by Mark Taylor. He's holding on at the front. leads the Chrome class as well. Like I said before, he only just got his second podium earlier on today in class. His other podium came at the end of the race weekend at Misano in race 4. And right now, it doesn't look like Steffi Halm can do enough to get by, but she's going to be thinking about her own class position as well. Second place in the Titan class. She's got Sasha Lenz holding on to third there. It's looking strong at the moment for a number of drivers to have their best results of the weekend. It's been another great final race. These reverse grid races are always good fun. You never quite know who's going to progress where and what positions they may make up. Steffi just keep it tidy at this point. I think she knows as well that Mark won't want to give the position up because of the fact that Jose Eduardo is the next driver in the Chrome class trying to challenge him. Sasha Lenz will also know that Jose Eduardo won't want to give up the place because, of course, he is trying to chase down Steffi Halm. So there's a lot of psychology going on here between the two classes. There's no reason for any of them to move out of the way for anyone else. Sometimes the Chrome drivers may think, you know, I'll get out of the way of this Titan driver because there's no point me fighting them. But at this point, this is not good news for Mark Taylor. Steffi Halm goes down the inside. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez puts his nose down the inside as well. They're 3 wide. There's contact down at turns 10 and 11. It didn't need to happen. Steffi Halm put her nose down the inside. Jose Eduardo got in on that as well. Mark Taylor also involved. Sasha Lenz hop, skip and a jump over the grass. Steffi Halm resumes on the circuit, or rejoins on the circuit. Antonio Albacetti's over to the right-hand side. Oh, a little bit of contact there, I think, with Steffi maybe. She's still very much in the mix. Sasha Lenz is there as well. It's like there's an extra truck out of nowhere. Wow. That was feisty stuff down at turn 10. Hopefully none of them have got punctures or any major damage or anything. But a real shame that is for Steffi to have been knocked off the circuit there. Oh dear, Mark is sliding slightly wide there. Is there a puncture on the left rear of the 81? Can't quite tell on my feed that I'm getting here, but there was a big old slide around the outside of turn 13. We're on to the penultimate lap of the race here at the Slovakia ring for this weekend. And it got a little bit out of hand there. Norbert Kish holds the lead. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez put his nose down the inside and tried to get past both Steffi and Mark. I think Steffi might feel a bit aggrieved that it was Mark that made the contact in there, but I don't think there was anywhere really for any of them to go. And while that wasn't necessarily the cleanest racing, let's not forget, though, that it is clean, really, because it's all powered by 100% renewable HVO diesel. Here's a replay. So Steffi goes through. Mark tries to then make it to the apex. Jose Eduardo is in there. He runs wide, and then the two of them, well, I mean, Jose Eduardo, he's at the apex originally. Well, he just drives the rest of the corner as if they're not there by the look of it. I'm not sure if he just ran wide or whether the contact sort of dragged him wide into Mark. But that then, in turn, pushed Mark Taylor into Steffi Halm. I imagine there may be a few strong words after that one, and understandably so. To be fair, Jose Eduardo could have been a bit more patient and just waited for the two of them to be compromised on the exit of the corner, I would have thought, and then try and pounce down towards turn 13. But you never know. It could be looked at in a few different ways, I'm sure. This is now Sasha Lenz. Third place outright, second place in the Titan class for this race, ahead of Steffi Halm. Steffi trying to come through down the inside now, actually, on the exit of turn 8. She makes the move. She's got the run into turn 9. They go. A quick jab of the brakes by Sasha, and he loses the spot. Antonio Albacetti goes back through, or wants to go back through, I should say. He's part of this as well, just behind these guys. But Steffi moving forward again. The three of them in the Titan class all glued to one another. We've had some penalty marker warnings coming in throughout this race, by the way, but unfortunately I've missed them up to this point. My colleague Alice consistently sending messages from race control. Thank you, Alice, but not a chance to read them. There's been that much going on here. Antonio Albacetti's had some warnings throughout this one. In fact, actually, he's the only one that's had any warnings at all for penalty markers by the look of it. He's had 2 warnings now, though. Anything more will be a penalty. So we head on to the final lap then here at the Slovakia ring, and it is Norbert Kirsch once again at the front of the pack. He's won 7 races out of 7 so far this season. He's done the Grand Slam at Misano. Is he going to do it again at the Slovakia ring? Effectively his home race this season, because we're not there at the Hungaro ring in 2024. We weren't there in 2023 either. And I suspect that Norby and his team are going to be over the moon to take a Grand Slam here. Mark Taylor still holding on, by the way, in second place in the Chrome class, ahead of John Newell. But he's dropped down quite a bit behind the Titan drivers. I'm not sure if he does have some damage or a puncture or something, so we'll have to see how he survives this final lap. You can see actually the back end wants to step out big time. Something might have broken on that left rear, because that's where he got a hit from Jose Eduardo. He's got a decent gap back from John Newell to Luke Garrett if John gets past him, but he won't want to let John past at all. He may be his countryman and they may be good friends, but he definitely won't want to let him by. He'll want to at least fight for it until the end, but it seems like right-handers are the issue for Mark Taylor. It's that left rear that's definitely been hit. Steffi Halm seems to have got away with it. You can see the red and yellow striped flag there, which means there's a spillage or debris, and I think it's for the rear arch of Mark Taylor's truck. But the battles continue on. And Steffi Halm has moved back up into second place in class, though, after re-overtaking Sasha Lenz with that great move out of here, turn 8, earlier on. Bit of smoke from the front of Antonio Albasetti's machine. Not sure if he's got some bodywork or something rubbing against the tyre. Where is Norbert Kirsch? He's out there somewhere. There he is, off in the distance. And we've got this quartet of Titan drivers. And rightly pointed out by Alice as well, if Jose Eduardo Rodriguez wins this one, which is very likely in his class, it will be a Grand Slam for him as well in the Chrome category. Steffi Halm will try her very best to hold on to this podium ahead of Sasha Lenz. Antonio Albasetti in there as well with Jochen Hahn. But I want to, wherever you are in the world, to ask you to put your hands together, because Norbert Kirsch has not only done a Grand Slam at Misano, he's done it back to back, and he's done it here at Slovakia as well. Seemingly absolutely unstoppable at the moment is Norbert Kirsch. That is 8 wins out of 8 in 2024 so far. No other driver last season got more than 3 race victories, and Norby's just gained 8 in the first 8 races of the championship. You can't help but respect it. It is incredible stuff by Norby and the team. John Newell gets ahead of Mark Taylor just before the end of the race. A real shame for Mark. Like I say, there will be some strong words, I imagine, between himself and Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. It did seem, you know, sure, I may be a little bit biased being British myself, but it did seem a little bit unnecessary to put his nose down the inside and make it effectively 3 wide there. But obviously that is down to the stewards to look at and not for me to speculate over. One thing that is completely void of speculation is that Norbert Kirsch is absolutely in his element at the moment. 8 race wins from the first 8 races of the season, 2 Grand Slams on the bounce, never been done before. We are witnessing history here in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. He wins from Steffi Halm, who finishes 2nd in class, with Sasha Lenz taking 3rd position in the Titan category as well. And in the winning category, or the winning truck I should say, in the Chrome category, Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, a clean sweep for him this weekend. You can see the bodywork a little bit affected on the right hand side there. John Newell takes a 2nd place and Mark Taylor will take 3rd position. Great podium finish again, though, for the 2 British drivers. Luke Garrett as well, finishing ahead of Louis Requenco in the background. And Jose Eduardo Rodriguez certainly got his elbows out in that one. but was trying to charge through as best he could. He held on really well in second position at the end, though. His pace was fantastic, and he managed to remain ahead of everybody else in the Titan class behind him. I'm told there is still a investigation going on regarding said incident. Here goes Norbert Kish with his usual drifting. He's very, very good at this, he's Norby. And he's undoubtedly going to celebrate this one. Another Grand Slam, 2 in a row. Nobody has ever done that before. And like I mentioned before, we don't have a Hungarian race for Norby this season. There's no Hungarian round of the championship, so it's effectively his home race, only down the road in Slovakia. And he has so many fans that come over here to come and see him and the team do what they do best. And there is Steffi Halm as well, on her birthday, getting a podium. A trophy on her birthday. What more could you ask for? Well, maybe a win, but still. Getting a trophy on your birthday, not a bad day at the office at all, Steffi. I know she'll be really happy with that. But again, I'm out of words. I'm out of words for Norbert Kish and what he and this team continue to do. And again, the rest of the teams in the paddock, you know, they see it as motivation. They don't see it as an opportunity to point fingers and say, oh, there's something wrong with this. They see it as a point to be like, you know, what can we do about that? Like, wow, we need to be that quick. They see it as a yardstick. And Norby is continuing to, well, he's picked the yardstick up and he's lobbed it. He's run off with it. It's just remarkable. Hats off to him and the team. Really great effort. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, regardless of what happens with the decision from earlier, has had a great weekend all the same. He's had multiple race victories and he will be over the moon with that. Norbert Kish wins then 6.7 seconds to the good, ahead of Steffi Halm, with Sasha Lenz getting another podium. Great stuff from Sasha this weekend, 3 podiums in class. Antonio Albacetti just misses out on said podium by half a second, ahead of Jochen Hahn, and Andre Kurzim got caught up in a lot of the battling there and finishes 6th in the class. There is Norby and the team celebrating, handshakes and hugs all round. And there is Csaba Bako as well. Csaba, the man that puts it all together for Norby and the team. And Reves Racing seemingly unstoppable at this moment in time. Here's the chrome result then. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez takes the win after 8 laps, over 11 seconds clear of John Newell, who just beats Mark Taylor to the line in the end. Mark, I think, carrying a bit of damage earlier on, but still, solid effort from John. 2nd place for him. Luke Garrett gets ahead of Louis Requenco partway through the race and holds on to the end. So luckily, it seems, or hopefully I should say, it seems that those steering issues they had earlier on have been sorted out. There's Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, on the road at least, the race winner on that occasion. Have to see what the stewards say about that. And Steffi Halm finishing in 2nd position in that race on her birthday as well. And we'll head very quickly down to Lena, who's going to try and have a chat with her.
Of course I want to chat with her, because this has been quite a race for a birthday race. Holy shitball, sorry so to say.
Yeah, it was difficult. It was hard Friday. I was not able to overtake Taylor in a fair way. He made some mistakes, but all the time when he made a mistake, I was not close enough, and so then Norby was coming, and I thought, okay, now you have to be directly behind Norby, because he will find a position. And I was not able to overtake him at the same corner, but 1 corner later he made a mistake again. So I go inside, but I got blocking tires in the front. I went a little bit outside, and then I get a big hit. So I was off track, and I didn't see nothing around. So I tried to come in without any trouble with the other trucks. It was very difficult.
You did very well when you came back. I was like, oh no, not another accident now coming back on track. And you had 3 trucks next to you, so you were 4 trucks kind of squeezing into the same hole.
Yeah, you know, I know at the point where I come back to track, I know it's the left-hander, so all the guys will be on the left-hand side, so I go on the right-hand side. Yeah, it worked, but we were 4. I was a little bit disappointed at that moment, but then I saw that also Sasha had big problems with his truck, and there I got the chance to overtake him.
And just last question before we let you celebrate birthday, poles, whatever. When you're off, like when you're in the grass, like do you train such a moment, or are you such a cool driver that you just find where to go? What's going on in your mind in that moment?
No, it's okay for sure. Shit, where's the next barrier? If able to pass or not? But for me, it was not. The goal is to stay on track. But for me, it was not. I was not able to stay with the truck on track. So you leave the track and you try to look in the mirrors. But if the corner was too far away, so I couldn't see them. And the only thing was, okay, where can I go? Where can I go? And the only opportunity was the right-hand side of the track. And it worked well. I saw Antonio was nearly in the back and also in the gravel, but yeah, I hope it's okay.
We hope so as well, so congratulations to you again. And let's have a quick word from Norbert, of course, because this man, we already had Chess explain everything, but we were like, how do you do it?
Yeah, I don't know. I think, for sure, good teamwork. I mean, on the technical side, for sure, we're doing a good job. So big thank you for the team Reves Racing, and also I try to do a good job, and not to make a mistake, not to be impatient or whatever, because we have a pace advantage, and then if we can make use of it, then we can make such good results.
I think you're a great observer and you're a very cool mind when you're in that truck, because you always like seem to try to find the hole, and when it opens you immediately go in.
Well, yeah, I mean, there are a couple of spots on the circuit where I am faster and it's really difficult to defend for the others. I see they try to defend, but it's really difficult for them to defend. For example, that braking zone in the middle sector where we are turning left and left again. And yeah, I don't know. I just wait for my opportunity and I try to take it.
And you did well, and your fans are waiting for you. So we will walk all together to the podium. And this is another Grand Slam for him. We just already said Misano, Italy has been the first race weekend. He won both. And by the way, if you have a look over there, he also did a Grand Slam, so I think we will hear a word from him. But beforehand, we will have some highlights for you.
Thank you, Lena. Yes, let's have a quick look back, shall we, at the final race of the weekend here at the Slovakia ring. A pretty historic weekend in the championship as well. The first time that a driver has done back-to-back Grand Slams, but also I think the first weekend where both categories were taken by Grand Slams as well, especially on the road. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez taking all pole positions and all race victories. The same for Norbert Kish in the Titan category. It was all nerve-wracking stuff as Mark Taylor started on pole position with Steffi Halm alongside. Andre Kurzim had a bit of a rough start, unfortunately getting elbowed out in the opening stages. Stefan Fass would not complete the first lap though and would drop off due to the engine issues that he's had all weekend. Norby got to work though and put on one hell of a show, making his way through the pack, while Mark Taylor defended brilliantly at the front end of the order. Eventually though, Steffi Halm tried the move down the inside, and once Norby had gone through, everyone wanted a piece of the action, and there was unfortunately contact between her and Jose Eduardo Rodriguez and Mark Taylor as well, which took them a little bit further down out of contention. Jose Eduardo, the one that was coming off least unscathed. There was a lot of avoidance from behind as well, and hats off to the drivers that got involved in all of that. Sasha Lenz and Antonio Albacete in particular had to do a lot of hard work not to crash into the other trucks coming back on track, and it was all hard but fair racing, I reckon, here at the Slovakia ring. Great entertainment, but epic stuff once again from Norbert Kish and Reves Racing. Nobody can seemingly stop them at the moment this season, and they will head to Zolder in Belgium in a couple of weeks' time with massive confidence behind them and hoping to take another Grand Slam. But the drifting was just as entertaining as the podium ceremony will be now to complete our weekend. The fourth and final race all done with, and we will get our two podiums up. We'll get the Titan podium up first, third, second and first. Then we'll get the Chrome podium up, third, second and first as well. The fans for one final time make their way over to the far end of the grandstand. And everybody, you can see there's so many red shirts there around. Loads of fans of Norby and Reves Racing. And the first cheers going out as we have our cameraman well situated to capture the atmosphere from all the wonderful fans. It's just such a great atmosphere, isn't it? It really is incredible, the appreciation for Norby. And what a weekend for him as well, to do Grand Slams here 2 years running. He did it here last year as well, and he's made a great effort to do it a second visit in a row. And as you hear the announcer mention there, we're going to start with the Titan class. The first of them called up is Sasha Lenz for another podium visit, his third podium of the weekend. Next up, Steffi Halm on her birthday as well, getting a great second place. Her second place of the weekend. And what else need I say? Norbert Kish, another win, another adoring group of fans, and a big, big smile on his face. Like I said before, every win means a lot to Norby. There's not one that goes underappreciated. Sasha Lenz for third place, another trophy for him and the team. The SL Truck Sport 30 team will be really pleased with that. Steffi Halm will get a huge cheer for her second trophy of the weekend. That'll be a real special one in the cabinet, that will, for Steffi. A birthday trophy indeed. And listen to the cheer now as Norbert Kish will receive his winner's trophy. I needn't say words, need I? And now the Hungarian national anthem. Well, I did not want to interrupt that. The music may have stopped, but the Hungarian fans continue singing their national anthem. And Norbert Kish, you can tell that means a lot to him. What an epic moment. Epic, epic moment. The appreciation for him and this team, absolutely epic here in Slovakia. They'll change the hats, take some more pictures, and then I imagine, to be fair, Steffi may get drenched here with the champagne because it's her birthday. But I think we can all expect Sasha Lenz is going to drench both of them. Big smiles up there on the podium. And let's see who gets drenched. Probably all three. It's a fair fight. Brilliant stuff. Steffi and Sasha absolutely drenching Norbert Kish, and deservedly so. He's worked hard for this one. Sasha got him good there, I think. You don't want it in the eyes, though. We saw that from Jochen yesterday. Or was it? No, it was John Newell yesterday. And he hands off the bottle of champagne to a fan as well. A great gesture. I'm sure you can hear the smile on my face because there's a big one. 120 points. I'm just going to say that again. 120 points for Norbert Kiss after 2 race meetings from Jochen Hahn in second place. Jochen's having a solid season though, 87 points already. Sascha Lenz moves a couple of points further ahead of Antonio Albacete now, 73 to 69. Steffi Helm's second place really helps her out. She's only 7 points behind Antonio now. And Andre Kurzim bringing up the rear at the moment in 6th place, but still definitely not out of touch, less than 10 points behind. The celebrations and everything continue on down there, but we'll move on very quickly to our chrome podium. And that will include 2 British drivers and the Portuguese driver, José Eduardo Rodrigues. More celebrations with Norby, absolutely soaked. He makes his way away from the podium. And Mark Taylor makes his way up to the podium for 3rd position in that one. He'll feel a little bit hard done by with the way the race went in the end. A firm handshake with John Newell. And then José Eduardo Rodrigues, the race winner in class that time round. The trophies will be handed out again one by one. 3rd place first for Mark and the team. More silverware for them. But I think it'll be a moment of what could have been for Mark right now. Understandably so as well. He'll be a bit frustrated with that one. John Newell, another 2nd place for him and the team. A great weekend for John. 4 podiums for him actually. He was on all 4 podiums this weekend. Very well done to John and the NWT Motorsport team. And all 4 wins. A Grand Slam going the way of José Eduardo Rodrigues. Again, very, very impressive driving. Continues to be a real star of truck racing. And there, the Portuguese national anthem for José Eduardo Rodrigues. He takes 4 wins out of 4 here at the Slovakia ring and extends his championship lead in the chrome class. He now has 105 points to the 83 of Stefan Faas. And now the champagne bottles undone. Who's going to get soaked? Everyone. John Newell heads over to drench the fans, passes the champagne over to the Hungarian fans as well. Hats off to John. A lovely gesture as well. Great stuff. Great stuff. And a hat as well to go with it. Great engagement from drivers to fans. That's what we love to see. José Eduardo Rodrigues giving away his hat as well to a fan. He's got the championship lead now, though, like I say, 105 points. Suddenly 22 points clear. Comes out of nowhere. He's now ahead of Stefan Faas after a very difficult technical day for Stefan. He still holds on to 2nd place in the championship, though, from Mark Taylor and John Newell. Just 6 points between the 2 British drivers. Louis Riquenco holds on to 5th place on 58 points. Heinrich Clemens-Hecker just still a couple of points ahead of Luke Garrett, who hopefully now has his fortunes turned around after fixing the steering pump issue that they've had throughout most of the weekend. And unfortunately, everybody, it comes to that time where I need to say goodbye for the weekend. It's been Chaz Draycott here in the UK, commentating on the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Another fantastic weekend, massive entertainment. I hope you've enjoyed the show and the commentary. But for now, I'll hand back down to Lena, who's going to give us some final words. I'll see you very soon, everyone.
What a great weekend! What a great fan base. And I really, really, really hope you get to enjoy this truck racing in real life as well. We will show you where to meet us at the next races. I'm pretty sure I will see you in Belgium Zolder in about 2 weeks already. And if you're a fan or a wannabe fan, just get a t-shirt and come to the track and celebrate together with us. Thank you so much for joining us, for watching all the races, and see you very soon. Have a very lovely evening. Party!